Quite a while back, I built the locomotive from the 4563 Load and Haul Railroad. There's a few minor changes, but the problem was I didn't have any cars for it to pull. And then recently, one of our Discord members, RoboMemer26, built a digital version of the 4536 Hopper car and posted a picture. And there were some slight redesigns, just like I do with a lot of my rolling stock. When I'm trying to make these old sets, I often just use the modern buffers. I have to make a few design changes, and I'll also make a few changes to make it easier to build, not have to be tied to retired parts or parts that are hard to find. So he actually sent me that IO file, and I made my own changes to it and came up with something I think I'm happy with. So I went ahead and ordered the parts to build 5 of those, and that's what we're going to be building today. And I'm also going to be building one of the cars from the 4563 set as well. So that's what all these parts are here. So let's go ahead and open these up and check everything out. The Hopper car, I'm going to build it with the physical bricks, but I do plan on sharing instructions for that. But I wanted to build them physically first before I get that far. So this should be parts for the, I don't know what you'd call it. It's kind of a van, like maybe a brake van even. That goes on the end of the 4563. Yes. And this is what I needed. Oh, come here. I needed 4 of these doors in light gray, the old gray. It's got some kind of something going on there. It's fine. Yeah, so I got 4 of those. I got some of the roof pieces. I kind of looked through whatever old gray pieces they had and ordered them. These are for another build, and so are those. But yeah, I haven't seen that. That's kind of strange, the underside of that piece. It is Lego, huh? Okay, so yeah, that's just the parts for those. I just found somebody that had these doors, because they are kind of hard to find and fairly expensive, but I found a store that had 4 of them, and it wasn't that bad, so I went ahead and picked them up. Okay, so this is the big one. This will have all the parts for the Hopper Wagons, and it is quite a lot. Oh my word! Okay, so yeah, we got lots of these inverted slopes, 1x6s, inverted or non-inverted slopes. Lots of slopes. Yeah, these are the 2x4s. Some of these blue, you know, they're not going to match that great. I'll try to kind of group them together. The ones that are kind of faded, but that's just the reality of building with Lego bricks. Some of them are just going to look a little different than others. So yeah, these are all the plates that I needed in various sizes: 2x10, 1x8, 2x2. More inverted slopes, 1x2 bricks, 1x4 bricks. It looks like for the most part the color looks pretty good, but you can see like that one. I don't know if you can tell, that one's pretty far off. These are panel pieces, and just some other, yeah, there's like 2x4 tiles. Just kind of there was some other parts I kind of threw in there. Then we've got lots of light bluish gray tiles. Of course, that's something I do very often, is just go ahead and swap for the newer grays, so I don't have to try to fight and find the old parts. I guess they won't match the van in the back because it's going to have the old gray, but it's not like I can find those doors in light bluish gray. And yeah, just a bunch more tiles. I think they were just maybe a decent price on these, like these 1x3 tiles. You know, I think that's what that was for. And a bunch more light bluish gray and some panels. So that's pretty much it. So I'll get these all built up and see how they look, and we'll see if I make any changes. So yeah, we'll see you over there. All right, well here they are, and I'm pretty happy with these. I do like these a lot, and I think it looks good as a complete train. Maybe it's a bit long. I've never really had that thought with anything else I've made. But like if you see it with just like maybe 3, you know, maybe that looks a little better. Let's try 2. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's kind of a cute little train. But, you know, of course, I tend to go overboard a little bit. So I ended up building 5 of them. And one thing I will say is like these guys are pretty heavy for their size, but not too much of a problem. This is just a single 9-volt motor engine. Maybe it would do a little better if I tried to hide like a weight brick inside of here, because it is pretty light. But it's not like I really have any problems with it. And like I said, I will have instructions on ReBrickable to build your own, but you're not completely tied down to building exactly like this. You could use the corner tiles up here instead of these. That might be a little better, but it actually is. It's got this slope here, so it gives a little more staying power, so these ends don't just pop off. You'd have to take all these parts with it, basically. So it's not too bad. Get in there. But yeah, these things are absolutely solid, which is, I think, how the originals were, basically. Like I said, a lot of the changes I made were just to get those pick-a-brick parts in there from the pick-a-brick wall, like these 2x6 bricks here, and then you have to have a 1x2 there to make it work. You could use 3 2x4s and 2 1x2s, or you could do some math. It's 14 studs, so it's not like you're really going to get much better than that. I mean, you could use a 2x8 and a 2x6, but I'm sure the 2x8s are fairly expensive, especially compared to these, since they're so readily available. I wasn't sure what I was going to do about the ladders. In the original set, it's got another ladder piece here that goes on the railing, but the problem is that it interferes with the modern buffers. So that was kind of an issue, but not a huge deal. And then, of course, we've got the little, I don't know, work van, brake van, whatever you want to call it. And I just used these new, somewhat modern panel pieces for the front and back, because originally this is kind of built up. It's got some 1x2x2 panels, and it was just a little more parts intensive, and I just didn't have the parts. They didn't have them in their store. For some reason, I don't have many red panels. And these are doors I've never used before, but I do kind of like them. You do have to kind of, they don't stay super well, which is maybe why they kind of phase them out for the newer ones that have the little latch between them, but it works okay. And then you've, of course, got them on both sides, so you can open it up. And then you can just close them, but you've got to kind of push on both doors at the same time to get them to latch in. I guess I can't really show it because, but there's a little pop right there. You probably can't see it, but yeah, it does kind of latch into place, and it holds fairly well. I went ahead and put the light gray roof on there all the way over. I'm not sure if I'll keep it that way because, right next to it I've got the light bluish gray. But it's not that big of a difference. On the locomotive, originally this was light gray, the old gray. And I just went with black because it was a lot easier. I couldn't really find light gray pieces that matched very well, even though I did have the pieces. Finding a 2x4 and like this big roof piece here and trying to make it work was a little bit of a challenge, so I ended up not worrying about it. But yeah, overall, I am happy with it. I built this locomotive quite a while back, and I wanted something for it to pull, and I wasn't really sure what. I didn't know if I was going to build the rest of the cars. Like, this is from the same set. But the other cars were just, they weren't anything special. So I didn't end up building them. But I think this looks pretty good. I still would like to build something to go with these types of cars, like some kind of like quarry or something. I also want to build a sawmill. I've got like the log cars that I've got and stuff like that. So maybe eventually I'll do that. But yeah, I'm glad to give this little guy some work to do. He can do some shunting with these cars and all that kind of stuff. And if I did want a shorter train, like if I just wanted 3, I can have 2 on the siding or at the quarry or whatever. That's always an option. I just always kind of build extra just in case. Some of the parts I think I ordered enough to make another one. But at this point I'm not really too worried about it. But I think I might have to order a piece or a few pieces here and there. But pretty much ready to go. So again, big thanks to RoboMemer26 in the Discord for kind of spurring on this project. And again, he did create the original studio model that I started making modifications to. Thanks to the channel members for helping keep the lights on here, help keeping all this going. Join us in Discord, and maybe you can build something and help out with a video just like this. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.